Sopranos. We are super stoked to be right back for you, and we're going to get a little bit musical with you right now. We really appreciate, of course, all of the courtesies that you show, not only myself, but of course the devil, but more importantly, the guests that are giving us some of their time to talk about everything that's going on. So we've got a little bit of trauma with us, but we've also got a little bit of music, and that's how we're going to go, a little bit of everything. Jensen is joining us right now. Jane, thank you so much for some of your time.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate you being here. Well, you just got off stage. You're here at Frightreads, and you're meeting your fans for the movies that you've done, but also performed for them live. First and foremost, how was it being up there? It sounded great.
It was a lot of fun. It was great to see my familiar faces, trauma friends and family out there. I had a good time.
Absolutely. When it came to what you were designing for a set list, when it came to performing today, you were doing an acoustic set. What was it about the songs that are yours and, of course, the songs you wanted to perform that you thought would work best for this environment?
So what I did was choose songs that I have had licensed in horror films. Most of my career has been about licensing music. So I have my music licensed to broad projects like sports and commercial and film and TV. But I focused on songs that I have placed in horror films, specifically the horror genre. So it was fun, revisiting these songs and looking for a way to play them acoustically, where it would still be a good representation of the song, but would be something that I could share here at Frightreads.
Absolutely. And you didn't perform it today, which is okay, because you had actually told us that you're still kind of working on how to transition from like an industrial song to more of an acoustic song.
Oh, you're talking about the song Meet Again from The Crow.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the franchise, so I definitely wanted to ask you about that song.
So the story with that song, it's called Meet Again, and that was a song actually not written by me. I sang it, but it's written by Marco Beltrami, who is a very famous music score guy, composer. We were put together to write that song. Actually, he wrote the song, and then I was brought in to do the vocals. So even I didn't write any of the lyrics or the melody on that one. That's all Marco. But I got to sing it. It's a beautiful song. And it just occurred to me, like 3 days before the event that, I should put that in the set too. And it just wasn't enough time to learn it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next year I'll come back and play Meet Again.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome for sure. And how did just getting involved with that Crow movie happen? Like, how was it just, your availability as a singer? Like, is that kind of how you were approached,
Right. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. I was working closely with a guy named Jim Cardillo, who is a label guy and super creative. He's not an A&R guy. He's a music supervisor type. And so he came across this opportunity with Marco, and he said, I know just the girl for this project. It's Jane. And so that's how that came together.
Very cool. Absolutely. Devil, my friend, let's kick it to you.
I mean, as we're talking about it right next to Tromeo, right next to, the Lloyd Kaufman and all that good stuff. Talk about doing Tromeo and Juliet and your memories of making a movie, which, is coming up, anniversaries of it and stuff like that. Just being in a movie like that, working with those kind of guys, but also working with, James Gunn and the Sean Gunn before everybody who in the world knows who they are now with the big, huge Marvel and stuff like that. Talk about just doing the, such an awesome rendition of, obviously, Romeo and Juliet.
It was a really exciting time. There was a lot of chemistry between all of us as a group, as a cast. Also, the whole production crew. We just had a really good time. We had a great time on set. They were long days, but we enjoyed each other's company so much that, we really had a great time. And for me, it was my first summer, I think, in New York City. So it was the most exciting way to spend a summer making this movie. Today I played a song that is an instrumental piece that is the segue between the scene where Juliet's sulking in her bedroom to when Debbie Rochon comes in, who plays Juliet's nanny. But anyway, I was explaining how Lloyd and James asked me to just play some music, but it can't be a song anyone would recognize, so just make something up on the spot. And I was so nervous because I was getting ready to do a love scene with Debbie Rochon, so
Yeah.
there was just no way that I was going to be able to relax enough to make something up and be creative. So I played an old song that I had written quite a while ago, and I shared that today as an instrumental. But it's funny preparing these songs for today. I thought about like that, for example. I hadn't really thought about that in a long time. There's so many great memories from making that film. The cow monster is represented back there. I don't know if you guys want to get that in the shot, but I didn't expect to see her today. So, there were many hours sitting in makeup, getting the cow transformation on, and then the many hours getting it off after the day was done.
We got her right on the end.
Yeah,
there.
as I said, right on the end cap of it.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
There
Yeah,
she
you can
is.
see her.
She's going to be part of this.
Yeah.
Right on.
Anyway, yeah, so many good times. So many good times. So many, friendships that I still maintain to this day.
Absolutely.
Say,
for sure.
I always ask actors, do you watch your films? And have you recently watched? I just watched Romeo and Juliet again last night. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'm like, oh my Lord, I forgot like all the crazy shit that was in that film.
A lot of crazy
Do you remember thinking like when you were making that film, no one's gonna get this, or like maybe we've gone a little bit overboard with some of the stuff, or you were like, whatever, we're young and dumb, we don't care.
Above. I thought all of the above. But yeah, it was a blast, and it was a lot. It was, Lloyd just, I think, went for it with the film, and it's trauma. It's trauma.
Yeah.
How do you look back at the time that was happening, where being an independent musician and then also crossing over into acting, how do you look at that transition for yourself, where you were already building this career as a singer-songwriter and then having, opportunities to kind of cross them over or get your face out in other ways?
I guess I had been doing both really since high school. I'm from Indiana, and I was doing commercial work and stuff like that, and playing music, and I was in a band when I was in high school. So they both always been kind of commingled in that way. But More Than I Can was the song that I did that got me signed to Interscope Records. But it was also the first song that I ever had licensed in a movie, and that song was a Troma movie. That film company was a Troma. So that was really exciting for me, and it gave me a real feeling of validation in a different way than being cast in the film. Because it was my own creative endeavor. But the two things have worked well together through the years, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who are some of your Devil? Who are some of like your inspirations coming up in music? Like some of the bands or independent artists that really inspired you growing up?
Well, I really love Nick Cave. And these things, they change for me so much. I'm into something for a while, and then I put it aside, and then 2 years later I'm back into it again, but I'm into something else in the meantime. My favorite singer is Sinead O'Connor. For modern music, I love old folk and bluegrass, and I love all the industrial stuff, obviously. I'm hoping to see 9 Inch Nails coming up here in the end of September, the last show in LA. We'll see. Cold Waves is today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm missing that one, but I'm here, so what could be better than that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have so many musical influences. It's so hard to, choose one. But I'm listening to a lot of Nick Cave these days.
Nice. Right on. Awesome.
Yeah,
Devil?
because you were talking a little bit about that, getting on Interscope. Talk about getting on that label, because you were talking about with 9 Inch Nails and stuff like that, being on a label that was the forefront of pushing that type, the industrial metal at that time.
Right. Well, now that I think about it, it was More Than I Can got me signed to Flip Records, which was a small independent label. And I got signed to Interscope because an A&R woman there heard my song Love Song, which is a little bit of a different vibe, on one of the college radio stations. So she tracked me down and started coming out to New York to my shows from Los Angeles. And she was really crazy about my music and had a feeling about it and really pushed to get me signed to Interscope.
Awesome.
And so that's how that happened.
And then, when you're talking about doing the Tromeo and Juliet, was that something that you had to audition for, or
Many times.
How was the process of getting yourself into that film?
Many times I had to audition for that. Yeah, it took Lloyd a long time to just finally give in.
And then, thankfully we did, because it was such an iconic film and stuff like that. Like I said, it still boggles the mind, like I said, watching it now, how films like that movie would never get made nowadays with
No.
with the PC world and stuff like that, and things not doing that. Just other than that, like, what other projects do you remember like working on that you just like that just inspired you so much when you think about, like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to do this or I got to do that, as far as like either with music or that, being able to go on a tour with somebody, or just
Right.
seeing somebody, or even doing cons and seeing people who are icons and idols
So,
of yours?
I would just recently I had an opening slot for Paul Barker.
Oh, yeah.
From Ministry, Led Into Gold, and that was I kind of felt like I think I could be done now. It was such a great spot for me, and Ogre from Skinny Puppy was out there in the audience.
Oh, nice.
And just like amazing. So I felt really lucky to be able to do that show. LA Industrial was the group that put that together and promoted it. So that was amazing. And then recently I got to go to Chicago, and I played a show with lots of great bands, but particularly Go Fight, and that is the reorganization of Die Warsaw, an industrial band
Oh, nice.
from back in the day in Chicago. So that was really ideal as well, and the Chicago crowd was there, lots of great bands. I would go through them all right now, but I'm not going to, because I know that I'll forget someone. So, but I know Martin Atkins came out to see it, and I got to go see the Museum of Post-Punk and Industrial Music. There's a
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt right there. And I love that place. I love being there. So it was just a really idyllic sort of music weekend for me.
Oh, yeah.
See so many old friends, and my label, Distortion Productions, is the one that put that event together, and their cause is Electronic Saviors, industrial music to cure cancer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, a couple of really good friends of ours, in Ryan and Amir, who most fans and Infernos will know as the original guitar duo of Orgy. They're currently out on tour with their band Julian K, playing with Union Underground, and we're big fans of what they do
Sweet.
and everything like that.
I would like to see that show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
us too. They were in the area last night, but Devil and I had prior obligations. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make that trip. But we love Ryan, Amir. We love you guys. We love them, and also the original guitar player in Union Underground, who's not back in the band right now because he's out with Lita Ford, is our friend Patrick, and so we love what goes on with him. But
Ford, yeah.
but we definitely wanted to do that. But also, speaking of cool things, because you were mentioning the cure cancer and everything, when we were talking to you earlier, you had mentioned the human trafficking thing.
Right.
And we'd love for you to talk a little bit about that, because we really appreciated the little gifts that you gave myself and Devil.
The Alliance to End Human Trafficking is a group that I love and support. They are a network of Catholic sisters and nuns who go out in the street and just rescue people from, that have been trafficked. And sometimes they work on cases for a really long time before they can actually, break someone free. And anyway, so they made all of these really sweet, have all of these really sweet rosaries that they made that I am just handing out to people that are contributing today.
Yeah.
And So I think that human trafficking is a problem that kind of hides in plain sight, and sometimes it can be right in front of us, and we're just completely not aware. So these ladies are working really hard to they're fearless with what they do, and I admire them so much.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of unfortunate like horror stories, no pun intended, of like, especially in the industry that you're in, making it in music, trying to make it in movies, where small town people, they come to larger cities to try to make it and fulfill their passions and their dreams, and have some vulnerability to them, unfortunately, because of coming to such a large place. Do you find that with your experience in this industry, that does that add to the cause and you being a part of it, knowing that people in your line, in your line of work with your histories, have some vulnerability to them, leaving a place like Indiana to go to bigger cities?
Yes, I guess that's always a risk, and it's certainly, it can certainly create a problem. I think probably the thing that can mitigate that best is, people getting educated, and education. That's really, and keeping your eyes open, and not being afraid to reach out to someone and ask if they're okay.
Yeah. Or if you see something, do something about it. Say something. Yeah. That's the stigma with the people who are afraid to do stuff, and it's like, hey, that 1 second of you saying something could save someone's life.
It could, yeah. It could.
Jane,
Absolutely, for sure.
this is my ex-wife Stephanie.
Oh, hi,
Jane
Stephanie.
Jensen.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
Wonderful.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, walking around.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah. I'm good, thank you.
No worries at all. No,
No,
totally cool. Devil
I've
Murder.
been waiting to meet Stephanie for a long time.
Oh no,
I don't
absolutely.
think you realized we were sitting there.
Hey, that's okay.
That we're
I'm
used
sure
to
the
that.
microphone blends in with your jacket.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I should have had the green light aimed out.
We're live.
We're live.
But anyway, what can you tell for the Fangs and Infernos about what you have plans for 2025 and 2026 that you can, let people know about?
Right. So I am on a label called Distortion Productions. It's mainly, industrial dark wave label, and they do an electronic saviors compilation album every few years. I was just on that recently. That came
nice.
out. Electronic Saviors 7. But I will be doing an album for them to be released through them. And once I get home from this event, I need to start on that. That's what's next on my plate, and I won't be. I have to prioritize that, or it's never going to get done. So
Yeah.
that's what's happening next.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
for sure. And Jane, thank you so much for some of your time. But before we officially let you go, can you please let all the Fangs and Infernos know where you can be found?
Oh, right. So you can go to janejensenmusic.com, and then you'll find, or I'm just at Jane Jensen Music. That's the easiest thing to do. At Jane Jensen Music.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, we'll let you go. We got, fans that are waiting for your attention, and we definitely want to, of course, honor that, because that's why you're here as well. But again, we really, really appreciate some of your time. And one of the things that's always the most important to myself and Devil, of course, is that you enjoyed yourself. You felt this was beneficial in any way, and you just felt respected for your time.
I had a fantastic time. Thank you, guys.
No
Thank you so much, Fangs and Infernos. We appreciate you guys. Make sure that you're checking out Jane, like she said, at all of the places that she can be found. And that got new music on the way for her, and everything also going on with Distortion and everything like that. And again, shout out to Harry and Frightreads for having her out and having us out as well. Again, I'm Vampire, he's Devil, but most importantly, she is Jane Jensen. We will see you guys later. Horns up. Fangs out.